It's Tony with lidl.doodle. Today we are talking about quite a few things. So when I had first planned out this video, it went one way in my mind, and the last couple of days has kind of made it need to go a different direction. So I hope you'll stick around. I have got something incredible to share with you at the end of this that will kind of explain this whole video, hopefully. So what I want to do first is talk about some olive inks. I had a need this weekend to do some exploring with olive inks. I don't have that need anymore, and that was part of the problem with this video. I'm gonna explain that. But we're gonna talk about Colorverse Glistening Brain. Love this ink. This was the first ink that I had that we used of Colorverse, that we used the entire bottle, little bottle, and I just went for it and bought a big bottle. I love it. I have it in a pen, so I'll do my writing sample with the pen. In this video, I actually remember to grab my little muddler and show you how I use that. So if you saw my video where I first got it, I thought it was going to be a ball, but it's not. So it's rounded here, but it's flat. And I take and drop a drop of ink and then just kind of swirl it like that. I don't know if there's a better technique. Probably, maybe, I don't know. The thing I'm really liking about this is it is super easy to clean. I literally just dipped it in some water, did that, and I'm ready for the next ink. Where my Speedball, I have to kind of rinse it in and out a little bit. I have Brain in my Corky Leaf, Back to the Lands, Estabrook. And this is the Journaler nib, which is Gina Solarino created that nib for Estabrook. And I was super excited to get that nib. And this is one of my absolute favorite pens. I take it with me to school every single day. And okay. Brain is a total winner in my house for sure. The next ink is a Diamine Olive Swirl, and you can see it's got some shimmer. Another household favorite. I have this one in a pen as well. I have not purchased an entire bottle of this. When this ink vet, and I can't remember if this was 23 or 22. I think it was 23. When this ink vet came out, there were a handful that I actually really liked and ended up getting bottles of other ones that kind of took a little precedence over this one. Not much, because I really love this ink. So once I'm done with the small bottle, I will most definitely buy a bigger bottle. So this is a little bit, almost seems a little yellower than the Brain. And I don't think it's much darker. Okay, so with the muddler, one thing I noticed, see where I just did that, it's hard to just kind of nail like a circle. So it's just kind of a blob. Oh, that's gonna kind of bug me. Anyway, so that would maybe, it's probably just technique, and I just need to get used to it with doing that. I have Diamine Olive Swirl in my Pelican M200. This is tortoiseshell. I can't remember the exact name for this. This is a medium nib, and the Journaler was probably ground from a medium nib, but it's a little finer. Pelicans put out some ink. So if you look here, I mean, this, oh gosh darn it, I put the name of the pen. Pelican is, their medium, I feel like, is some other broad. All right, so that is Diamine Olive Swirl. And these first two are definitely going to pack a shimmer that I will let you see once it dries. The next olive is Sugar Kelp from Birmingham Pen Co. I love this ink. My husband dyed a journal for me. I've shared this before. He used Sugar Kelp to dye this entire thing. And I don't know if it's doing any justice on camera, but I love that color. And so we will do a little drop and check this out. I love how, I know it's just like this, when it dries, it's got just such a cool look. It's kind of yellowy, olivey. I just really like it. Okay, this I have in a pen as well. My Sailor Pro Gear Slim Moroccan Mint Tea. And this is, I don't see the stamp on the side. I'm pretty sure it's a medium. This was kind of an unexpected purchase a while back. I went to our little stationery store over in Portland, Oblation, and they have a section called Nearly New Pens. And this was over there, and it was a medium, which I like Sailor mediums, and it was a good price, so I grabbed it, and I'm really happy with it because I just love that color, and I just think that complements it so nicely. Okay, a couple more, and then I'm going to move on because I have some other things that I want to share. You might not think this one is olive. I'm kind of second guessing myself. I really, really like it. I have it in a full bottle. It was from the 2023 ink vent. It's Sugar Snap. I maybe should have done this on the green inks video because it kind of gives a little more just straight green, but we'll just see if you think it has any olive qualities here, or you can disagree with me. Okay, what do you think as it's starting to dry? And of course we'll take a look at it once it's totally dry. I think I'm trying to shove it in the olive category, and maybe it's just more green. We'll see in a minute. Okay, the last color I'm going to put down on this page is another Colorverse ink, Walk the Dog. This is a standard ink, and I do feel like this falls into our olive category. It's a little lighter olive, if I remember correctly. So these were the 5 inks that I pulled out this weekend when I had a need for an olive ink. And as I looked at the swatches that I've previously done in my ink journal, I decided that these just were not the inks for my need. And I'm about ready to show you my need. I went a little rogue and I made a homebrew, because once I saw what I needed and it wasn't quite as olive as I thought, I realized I'm going to need to do something different. So I mixed Gold Star with Arctic Blast, and I got this, which I think fits my need. That's not olive, apparently, as much as I thought. All right, now you're like, what are you talking about? I am going to show you. Now, I promise that this is on my list of pen show goals. I'm even going to show you. And by the way, do you see this amazing cover my husband made? He got some Pueblo leather, which is this kind of different, I don't know, it's stunning. And you guys, he opened an Etsy store finally. So I will put a link down there because I just think his stuff is so cool. And I'm going to show you one more that he made after I show you this. So here's my pen goals for the pen show this week. And Atelier, I think is how I say it, Lusso is on here. And a pen from a new maker is on here. So this checks 2 boxes. I reached out to Eric, I think his name's Eric, over Instagram, and I asked him if he was going to be at the pen show because he's listed on the pen show. And he said no, because his shop just moved. He just moved actually up to Washington. So welcome to Washington. And I said, okay, well, bummer. I really love this pen on your website. I've had my eye on it for a while. I was hoping, maybe you would have one at the pen show. So, no, I don't. I'm not going to be at the pen show. However, I messaged him on a Wednesday. However, Tony, I have one of these pens that's going to be ready Thursday or Friday. All right, internet, that was a sign that it needed to just be a pen show goal that happened outside of the pen show. Now, in full disclosure, I got this pen this weekend. I could not wait. I wasn't ready to shoot the video. I had to pull it out. I had to ink it up. But I put it back in the box just to show you how he packages them. And your mind's gonna be blown. This pen is absolutely incredible. Look at this pen. There is nothing that is not absolutely exquisite about this pen. Look at the clip. It is so unique. And that was one of the things that kind of caught my attention. I've seen a few of these from other people's Instagrams, and I mean, it was just so unique that it kind of just set it out. I had never seen this olive green honey resin until I went on his website. And then I've been just looking at it, and it's been sold out because he was moving, and he's just getting more inventory back in his shop now. Look at this abalone. I'm just absolutely obsessed with how this pen turned out. Look at the finial. It's got a little dragon on it. His nib has a little dragon on it. One thing I really appreciated too that I thought was interesting, I haven't seen this from other pens. So there's a white resin in there, which makes the abalone not as translucent, not translucent at all, so that you don't get distracted by the converter in there. Because some pens, and this is one of them, my Pelican, you can see the converter in there. And I mean, it doesn't take away from the beauty of the pen, but I just would rather see the beautiful, beautiful abalone. All right, and it came with a little rickshaw pen holder or pen case. And I did ink this up with my little home brew. And I kind of pulled from the green in the abalone and the gold in the resin. I could have gone more olive, but I was really happy with how this turned out. My ink journal is still drying and I don't want to flip a page. So I will just show you quickly how this writes. I got it in a medium nib because anytime I get a new pen and I'm not familiar with the maker, I get a medium nib because I feel like it's a safe nib for me. I have had some broad nibs that are just a little too broad. Fine, I just don't default to fine. So mediums are always safe. Now, let me tell you, this is my largest pen. I did not expect it to be as big as it is. I had messaged him and asked, okay, is it comparable to this, comparable to that? And we were kind of talking back and forth. But once it got here, I mean, it is sturdy and it's got a good weight. And even though my hands are kind of small, this does not bother me at all. I would not post it at all. Okay, just because I'm going to just hold this and just appreciate this. And I will put a link to the model of the pen. He wrote it out for me and I put it in my ink journal. So I will make sure I do a link to his listing there. But it writes beautifully. I think the ink is a great match. And I am so, so happy that I reached out to him because it was one of those where I was like, oh, I'm not going to reach out. Oh, well, if he's at the pen show, great. If he's not, oh, well. And I'm so glad I did. All right, I'm going to put a few pens next to it so you can see the comparison. Here's my Leonardo Memento and my Estabrook SD. I know this is not like super official here. And let's do one more. How about just a TWSBI Eco? So as you can see, it is the longest pen, but it's also the girthiest pen. And I am just over the moon excited with it. What do you think? Oh, it's so stunning. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you, this is kind of fun. I told you my husband opened up his Etsy store and he has been trying all these different prototypes of journal covers and leathers and wallets. Oh my gosh. And I asked him if he would make a field notes either for me or to put in his shop. And it just happened to be on the same day as this pen coming. And so he created this kind of as a complimentary notebook and did the accent colors kind of to match the gold there. It's inspired. This is like little wallet or credit cards and a little wallet section. And then you can put field notes or a passport. And I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy that he is actually putting his stuff out there because it's just so incredible. And I will link to it if you want to just go check it out. Keep in mind, we literally are just learning how to do Etsy. And so if it seems a little wonky or, you know, the pictures aren't perfect, it's because we are learning something new yet again. All right, let's take a look at those olive inks quickly now that they mostly dried. So the Colorverse Brain has kind of a green shimmer in there. The Olive Swirl, if it's showing up on camera, it's showing up here, but there is both a green and kind of a pink shimmer. The Sugar Kelp, a little bit wet still there in the middle, but some really cool shading happening. There's no shimmer in this ink anyway. The Sugar Kelp, or no, I'm sorry, Sugar Snap, that was Sugar Kelp. Silver shimmer and some shading going on there. Still just a smidge wet right there. And then finally, Walk the Dog, no shimmer, but some really cool shading around the edges. So I didn't end up needing the olive inks after all because I went just in this other direction with my little homebrew. But I love my olive inks anyway. I showed you I have 3 pens inked up with these. What do you think about olive inks? What do you think about my pen? Oh my gosh. Let me know. Do you have a favorite olive ink? I have a few more olives that I just didn't pull out for this purpose. But if you have any suggestions of olive inks that I should try out, I would love to hear, because this is my jam right here. I love all the green inks, and these olive ones are incredible. All right, that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you for sticking around. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will drop a couple links down in the description to go check out Atelier Lusso and my husband's Etsy store if you want to. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great night.